Welcome to another episode of Current Affairs MCQ. Let's begin with the previous day's question. With reference to the Central Board of Film Certification, consider the following statements. 1. It is a statutory body under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, regulating film exhibitions as per the Cinematograph Act 1952. 2. It consists of non-official members and a chairman appointed by the state government and the central government respectively. 3. It uses the eCine Praman for an online film certification system which was launched in March 2017. Which of the statements above is correct? A. 1 and 2 only. B. 2 and 3 only. C. 1 and 3 only. D. 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is option C. The Central Board of Film Certification is a statutory body under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, regulating the public exhibition of films under the provisions of the Cinematograph Act 1952. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The board consists of non-official members and a chairman, all of whom are appointed by the central government and functions with its headquarters in Mumbai. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. CBFC has 9 regional offices in Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Bangalore, Thiruvananthapuram, Hyderabad, New Delhi, Cuttack and Guwahati, supported by advisory panels nominated by the central government for 2 years. eCine Praman is an online film certification system launched by the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting in March 2017 and implemented by the Central Board on Film Certification. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Let's begin with the first question. Regarding the Indian National Congress, consider the following statements. 1. It was formed by Alan Octavian Hume in 1885. 2. The inaugural session of Indian National Congress took place in Bombay under the chairmanship of W.C. Banerjee. 3. In 1924, Mahatma Gandhi was chosen as the President of Indian National Congress during its annual session held in Belgaum. Which of the statements above are correct? A. 1 and 2 only. B. 2 and 3 only. C. 1 and 3 only. D. 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is option D. The Indian National Congress was founded in 1885 by Alan Octavian Hume, a retired British civil servant. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The first session of the INC was held in Bombay from 28th to 31st of December 1885. Vomesh Chandra Banerjee was elected as the president of this session, making him the first president of INC. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Mahatma Gandhi presided over the Belgaum session of the INC in 1924, which was the only time he accepted the presidency of the Congress. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option D is the correct answer. Question 2. Regarding the Election Commission of India, consider the following statements. 1. The Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners are appointed by the President of India and enjoy security of tenure. However, only the Chief Election Commissioner can be removed in the same manner as a judge of the Supreme Court. 2. The administrative expenses of the Election Commission of India, including the salaries and allowances of its members, are charged upon the Consolidated Fund of India. Which of the statements above are correct? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option A. The Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners are appointed by the President of India. The CEC can only be removed in the same manner and on the same grounds as a judge of the Supreme Court. That is, by a special majority of both houses of parliament on grounds of proved misbehavior or incapacity. Other election commissioners do not enjoy the same level of protection. They can be removed by the President upon the recommendation of the CEC. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Unlike the Supreme Court and the Controller and Auditor General, the administrative expenses of the Election Commission of India are not charged on the Consolidated Fund of India. Instead, these expenses are voted on in the Parliament, which means that they are not non-votable, guaranteed expenditures. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Question 3. Consider the following pairs. We have air defense system and their country of origin. 1. THAAD or THAAD, country of origin, USA. 2. Iron Dome, Israel. 3. Patriot PAC3, France. How many of the pairs given above are correctly matched? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. The correct answer is option B. THAAD or Terminal High Altitude Area Defense is developed by the United States. Hence, pair 1 is correctly matched. It is a missile defense system designed to intercept and destroy short to intermediate range ballistic missiles during their terminal phase. It is produced by Lockheed Martin. Iron Dome is an air defense system developed by Israel, specifically by Rafael Advanced Defense Systems in collaboration with Israel Aerospace Industries. Hence, pair 2 is correctly matched. It is designed to intercept and neutralize short-range rockets and artillery shells. Patriot PAC-3 or Phased Array Tracking Radar to intercept on target is also developed by the United States. Hence, pair 3 is not correctly matched. This system is manufactured by Raytheon and is used to counter tactical ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and advanced aircraft. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Question 4. With reference to governor, consider the following statements. 1. The governor can promulgate ordinances under Article 213 only when the state legislature is not in session. 2. The governor is the ex officio chancellor of all state universities as per the Constitution of India. 3. Article 153 provides for a governor in each state and allows one person to serve as a governor for 2 or more states. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 and 2 only. B. 1 and 3 only. C. 3 only. D. 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is option B. Under Article 213 of the Indian Constitution, the governor has the power to promulgate ordinances when the state legislature is not in session and he is satisfied that circumstances require immediate attention. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The role of the governor as the ex officio chancellor of all state universities is not a constitutional provision. It is derived from state-specific legislation governing universities. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Article 153 of the Constitution states that there shall be a governor for each state, but it will also allow for the same individual to be appointed as governor for 2 or more states. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Question 5. Regarding the South Asian Free Trade Area, consider the following statements. 1. It is the free trade arrangement of the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. 2. It came into force in 2006, replacing the SAARC Preferential Trading Arrangement of 1993. 3. It includes all SAARC countries as its signatories except for Afghanistan. Which of the statements above are correct? A. 1 and 2 only. B. 2 and 3 only. C. 1 and 3 only. D. 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is option A. The South Asian Free Trade Area or SAFTA is a trade agreement established by the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation or SAARC to promote intra-regional trade and economic cooperation among its members countries. Hence, statement 1 is correct. SAFTA was signed in 2004 and came into force on 1st January 2006, succeeding the SAARC Preferential Trading Arrangement, which was operational since 1993. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Afghanistan is a signatory to SAFTA. Although it joined SAARC later, Afghanistan ratified the SAFTA agreement in 2011, making it the 8th member of the trade arrangement. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Question 6. With reference to Financial Action Task Force, consider the following statements. 1. It is an international watchdog established in 1989 by the G7 nations in Paris to combat money laundering and terrorist financing globally. 2. Countries on the FATF blacklist are known as non-cooperative countries or territories and are subjected to international sanctions. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. One only. B. Two only. C. Both one and two. D. Neither one, not two. The correct answer is option C. The Financial Action Task Force is an international watchdog established in 1989 at a G7 summit in Paris. Its primary mandate is to combat money laundering, terrorist financing, and related threats to the integrity of the international financial system. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Blacklist countries identified as non-cooperative countries or territories are placed on the FATF blacklist. These nations are involved in supporting terrorism financing and money laundering activities and are subjected to international sanctions. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The FATF regularly updates the blacklist by adding or removing countries. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Question 7. Consider the following statements. 1. The repo rate refers to the interest rate at which the Reserve Bank of India provides short-term loans to commercial banks. 2. The standing deposit facility enables banks to deposit surplus funds with the Reserve Bank of India without any collateral. Which of the statements above are not correct? A. One only. B. Two only. C. Both one and two. D. Neither one, not two. The correct answer is option D. The repo rate refers to the interest rate at which the Reserve Bank of India provides short-term loans to commercial banks. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The standing deposit facility was introduced by the RBI in April 2022. The SDF enables banks to deposit surplus funds with the Reserve Bank of India without any collateral. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Hence, option D is the correct answer. Question 8. With reference to the First Information Report or FIR, consider the following statements. 1. An FIR can be filed only for cognizable offences. 2. Even a telephonic message can be treated as an FIR. 3. Once an FIR is registered, the police are legally bound to start an investigation. How many of the statements given above are correct? A. Only one. B. Only two. C. All three. D. None. The correct answer is option C. A First Information Report or FIR is filed only for cognizable offences. That is, offences for which the police can arrest you without a warrant and start investigation without court orders. Hence, statement 1 is correct. A telephonic message can be treated as an FIR if it contains sufficient details about the commission of a cognizable offence and is not cryptic. In multiple cases, such as the Lalita Kumari versus State of UP, courts have held that non-cryptic, detailed telephonic messages can be considered as FIRs. Hence, statement 2 is correct. As per Section 173 of BNSS, after registration of an FIR, the police are legally obligated to begin investigating the case. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Question 9. Which of the following statements regarding the Pradhan Mantri Formalization of Micro Food Processing Enterprises or PMFME scheme is or are correct? 1. The PMFME scheme was launched by the Ministry of Food Processing Industry under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan to enhance the competitiveness of existing individual micro-enterprises in the unorganized food processing sector. 2. The scheme provides a credit-linked capital subsidy of 35% of the eligible project cost subject to a maximum of Rs 10 lakh per unit to food processing entrepreneurs. Select the correct answer using the code given below. A. One only. B. Two only. C. Both one and two. D. Neither one nor two. The correct answer is option C. The Pradhan Mantri Formalization of Micro Food Processing Enterprises scheme was launched under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan with an outlay of Rs 10,000 crore to empower unorganized micro food enterprises through formalization, capacity building and access to credit. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Under the scheme, individual micro food processing units are eligible for a credit-linked subsidy of 35% of the eligible project cost, subject to a maximum of Rs 10 lakh. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Question 10. Consider the following statements. 1. Alcohol regulation falls under the state list in the 7th schedule of the Indian Constitution. 2. Article 47 directs the state to prohibit harmful intoxicants and promote public health and nutrition. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option C. Alcohol regulation falls under the state list of the 7th schedule of the Constitution, giving states exclusive authority over their production, sale, and distribution, resulting in wide interstate legal variations. Hence, statement 1 is correct. States like Bihar, Gujarat, Nagaland, and Mizoram enforce prohibition, while others have experimented with bans. Article 47 of the DPSP provides that the state shall endeavor to prohibit the consumption of intoxicating drinks and drugs injurious to health and to improve public health and nutrition. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Now, let us look at a practice question. Consider the following statements regarding the Subarnarekha River. 1. It originates from the Eastern Ghats in Odisha and drains into the Bay of Bengal. 2. The Hundru Falls is formed along its course as it descends from the Ranchi Plateau. 3. It flows through Jharkhand, Odisha, and West Bengal. Which of the statements given above are correct? A. 1 and 2 only. B. 2 and 3 only. C. 1 and 3 only. D. 1, 2 and 3. Please provide your answers in the comment section.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.